This is the AP6. This is a collaboration between Jay Kelly and I, and both of us set out with one distinct goal: to create the most powerful dongle at under $50. I'm sure at this point many of you would have so many questions, but let's just run through the technical specs. First, the AP6 uses a Conexon CX31993 DAC, but also comes with dual outputs, both 3.5mm single-ended as well as 4.4 balanced. But on top of that, the AP6 also utilizes dual amplifiers, specifically the SG Micro SGM8262 amp chip, the same one that is used in the Protocol Max. It also comes with mic support, a sleek aluminum case, very low output impedance, and of course, the price coming in at $39.99 MSRP. And as mentioned, this is the most powerful dongle at under $50, coming in at 440 milliwatts at 32 ohms and 540 milliwatts at 16 ohms. This is basically a project that I had commissioned from Jay Kelly, and quite frankly, they have done an amazing job. But of course, I know many questions, so let's just go through the very common FAQs. First of all, the more astute of you may realize that this is a dual output DAC, 3.5 and 4.4, but only comes with a single DAC chip. So why is that? Firstly, the Conexon CX31993 is actually not compatible with a dual DAC architecture. That and the fact that adding on an additional DAC is going to raise costs and prevent us from pricing the AP6 the way that we have done now. And secondly, actually, you don't need two DACs to form a balanced connection. You see, instead of using two DAC chips to create the 4 signals required for a balanced connection, what we have done is to use the 2 op-amp chips to create that signal instead. So yes, while we save on costs, because we are using these 2 extremely powerful operational amplifiers to create our balanced connection, what we get is a lot of power. Secondly, some of you may be asking, why exactly are you using this Conexon chip? Aren't these chips usually reserved for the lower end of the budget? To that I say, absolutely. CX dongles tend to be cheaper because the CX DAC chip is cheaper. And I do admit that it is worse than the big 3 of DAC chip makers, Cirrus Logic, AKM, and ESS. But we had a goal. And again, that is to create the most powerful dongle at under $50. If we used, for example, a Cirrus Logic chip instead, what you would get is the Protocol Max, a product that you can buy today. The only difference is that because of the extremely high cost, it costs $89. In a way, you can consider the AP6 as a full-on specialist. Yes, it's not going to measure as well as the Cirrus Logic and ESS chips, but at the same time, you are going to get way more power compared to using these DACs standalone. As I've said before as well, this kind of power is absolutely overkill for most IEMs. But at the same time, there is a gaping hole in the market for this kind of power, especially at its price range. Let's talk about spec for a moment, because as I mentioned in my best dongle at every price point video, the thing that you really need to look out for when you're trying to buy a budget dongle is really just the DAC that you're using, the amp, the power output, and to a certain extent, the output impedance. Everything else is kind of marketing fluff at that point, and Jay Kelly is basically the masters at spec building. Because if you're in this industry for long enough, you realize that when it comes to just pure looking at specs, Jay Kelly have some of the best dongles in their price class. You have the GM6 Pro, now the GM6 Pro 2, the GM20 Max, the GM7 Max, all of which they are just very, very straightforward in how they market their product. It's here is the DAC, here is the amp, you like it, you buy it. And it's to the point where I don't even need to market the AP6 to you guys. Just look at the fact that it uses a Conexon chip, it uses 2 SGM8262 op amps, and the fact that it has stupid power. If that is something that is right up your alley, hey, just consider buying the AP6. If not, you do have the JM7 Max, which is basically the AP6 kind of cut in half. But if you're someone who wants even more, then yes, there is the Crin-Ear Protocol Max, which uses Cirrus Logic chips instead and also comes with PEQ functionality. But hey, you don't have to take my word for it. You can always try it out for yourself at The Hangout. We're located at 200 Southbridge Road in Chinatown. Come on down, grab a cup of coffee or an ice cream, and then ask for the J. Kelly X Clinical AP6. Try it out for yourself and then form your own opinions. And for those of you not lucky enough to be in Singapore, you can always come on down to hangout.audio, our online retail store. We ship globally and for free for orders over $30 US. This has been Critical for the Hangout.audio channel, and remember kids, if it's not on the list, it doesn't exist. See you next week.